Welcome to another episode of the Read Pile. Today I'm taking a look at Superman Infinite City. And this came out in 2005. I don't remember when I picked it up. I believe it was at a convention. It would have had to have been Wizard World Chicago, probably some point in those early 2000s. But I've never been really a Superman fan. The first Superman comic I ever read was after he died. I read the Reign of the Superman because I was curious at that point, and then as soon as he came back, I dropped it. I'm like, well, now I don't care about this guy again. And this cover just struck me as something clearly different than the usual Superman book, and that is definitely what this is. If I had to compare it to anything, I would say it's a mashup of like Roger Rabbit and Fifth Element, and I will show this image real quick because this is straight up Jessica Rabbit, right? I mean, the way she's drawn, I don't know. But then there's, where is it? This 2-page spread. Right, so there's a portal. I'll talk about the story in a second, but like this corner up here is Don Bluth, and over here we've got Frazetta, and it works in this weird plane here, and all of these tubes and wires, and it's gorgeous. Every panel of this is just gorgeous. So it starts with Krypton, and I always think, whenever I'm reading or viewing a Superman origin story, I'm always thinking of All-Star Superman that accomplished the origin story in 3 panels. Just brilliantly simplified. The fastest, easiest, conveys everything you need to know. 1 page, 3 panels. There is a reason that this is a bit longer, because these elements return later in the story for spoiler reasons. But yes, we get this kind of sepia and gray origin story. We then cut to Metropolis. I love it. I love this. Wherever he's floating, but his feet are just flat, instead of with the toes pointed down. I think it's generally a Superman pose, and I love it every time. But he stops a criminal in Metropolis, and then him and Lois track this Infinite City out to here. And the car, the map, this building, like, I just love all of this art. Look how detailed the interior of this building is. Just spectacular. So they track it down. They find a portal in the restaurant to this place where physics are different, and Superman's powers specifically react very differently to this place. But he's essentially a fish out of water here, and look at this is kind of simplified. And then the contrast between not just texture but colors. I looked up Carlos Meglia because I wanted to know what else he'd done, and him and Mike Kennedy, where are their names? There. They had both done some early 2000s Star Wars stuff, and then really not much else. And that surprises me, and I'd still like more from both of them, and I might grab some stuff. Might go shopping. But it's really good. In short, is really good. I think I said at the beginning of this was a suggestion by Dan. It was, this guy's doing the same thing for a reason. But yeah, everyone has these exaggerated sort of animation. I love this sequence where he gets punched and then winds up in this woman's bathroom while she's taking a bath. Like, it's weird, and it seems again like something out of an animated movie. There's these weird comedic moments that I love. Anyway, Dan suggested this. As I said, it was a book that I'd been thinking about myself. I never said out loud to anyone. And then as soon as he said it, I'm like, well, yes, that does sound like a great idea. So I'm glad that I revisited this. It is still fantastic. It is a relatively short, 96 pages. And highly recommended. It's probably out of print. You'll probably have a hard time finding this. It's probably a digital copy somewhere, but I absolutely recommend grabbing this. The story is unlike anything else that I've seen Superman in. Lois is fantastic. All the facial expressions are just so expressive. Everything has this exaggerated element to it. Look at his face there. I love it. So yes, this is still fantastic. I love it. I can read it again right now. Yes. If you are unfamiliar, find yourself a copy. This is fantastic, and I want to read more of what they've done. It's unfortunate that they have not done more, but I will appreciate what work I can find of theirs.